Expelled from India's parliament and sentenced to 2 years in prison. The country's main opposition leader, Rahul Gandhi, is punished for a speech that a court says was defamatory of the family name of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. But is this fair or proportional or a sign of increasing political repression? This is Inside Story. Hello and welcome to the programme. I'm Adrian Finighan. He's one of India's most well-known political names, but if prosecutors have their way, Rahul Gandhi could become the country's most famous prisoner. On Thursday, a court found him guilty of defamation in referring to the family name of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in a speech made 4 years ago. Gandhi's been sentenced to 2 years in jail but remains free for the moment on bail pending an appeal. A day later, on Friday, he was disqualified as an MP because of the conviction. Gandhi's opposition Congress party and allies accuse the governing BJP of using defamation laws to silence critics. He says he won't be intimidated.
I'm here defending the democratic voice of the Indian people. I will continue to do that. I'm not scared of these threats, of these disqualifications, of these allegations, of these prison sentences. I don't care. I'm not scared of them. Okay? These people don't understand me yet. I am not scared of them. They are used to everybody being scared of them. I am not scared of them.
The governing BJP said that the law had taken its course and gave its view as to why Gandhi was prosecuted.
Congress
Party members are saying a lot of things, but they aren't saying what Rahul Gandhi actually said. This case against him was for comments at an election rally in 2019 in Karnataka. He said, "How come all the thieves have Modi as the common surname?" If you are going to insult the entire Modi surname, this is completely defamatory. A case was run and Rahul Gandhi was allowed to present himself in court. His lawyers put up their arguments, prosecution presented their witnesses, and according to the law, this decision was given.
We'll be talking about what this case means for the country with our guests in just a moment, but first let's find a little more about Rahul Gandhi. India is a republic, but you could classify him as the equivalent of political royalty. He's heir to its Nehru Gandhi political dynasty. His mother was the Congress party's longest-serving leader, and his father, grandmother and great-grandfather were all prime ministers. Rahul Gandhi was the main contender against the Hindu nationalist BJP leader Narendra Modi in the general election in 2014. That was when the Congress party was swept from power. He resigned as leader of the Congress party after the BJP increased its share of seats in Parliament in polls in 2019, but he remains a very important figure. Let's bring in our guests for today's programme. From New Delhi, we're joined by Sudhanshu Mittal, senior leader and politician with the Bharatiya Janata party, and also in New Delhi is Supriya Shrinate, national spokesperson for the Indian National Congress Party. Sudhanshu, if I remember correctly from my journalism law training days, the definition of defamation is a statement which injures a third party's reputation. How could Gandhi's comments, vague as they were, have injured a specific person or party? Was this verdict politically motivated?
He has not been convicted for defaming Mr. Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India. He has been convicted for defaming Purnesh Modi, who was a minister in Gujarat, in his statement, which was held to be defamatory. Secondly, the Indian Parliament never voted against Mr. Gandhi's, for Mr. Gandhi's disqualification. The disqualification of Mr. Gandhi is automatic by the Supreme Court judgment in 2013. The issue is this is a private person's complaint. This is section 499 and 500 of the Indian Penal Code. And that penal code lays down that anybody who feels aggrieved by a statement which is defamatory to him can approach the court for redressal. Now, Mr. Purnesh went to the court, said what he has said is, how come all thieves are Modis? Now, he belongs to the Modi community, which is an other backward class community in India. And after much examination, after looking at the material on record and after examining witnesses, the court has found Mr. Gandhi guilty of defamation. Now, I must also add one more thing. The court gave Mr. Gandhi an opportunity of apologizing for making this derogatory comment which hurt Mr. Purnesh Modi, but he refused to do it. Now, these are choices he made. So the choice is, now there is no evidence required because this was electronically recorded. So he could not have denied what he said. Okay. And he made a choice of not apologizing. So he has been convicted. And as a sentence, he has been given 2 years of imprisonment.
Okay.
Now, as per the Indian law, just one more thing. Okay. As per the Indian law, if you get a conviction of a sentence which is 2 years or more, you are automatically disqualified.
That's the point.
So where is the question of any...
This is the point that I wanted to make to you. The sentence, I'm sorry to be cynical here, but he was given 2 years, which just happens to be the statutory minimum penalty to render a sitting member of Parliament ineligible for office. I mean, that's no coincidence, surely.
No, I don't think you have any right or anybody has any right to cast aspersion on the wisdom of the presiding judge. I mean, if this is somebody has to question the judgment, the right forum is not this political debate. The right forum is the appellate authority. I'm surprised that till now, the Gandhis have not gone to the appellate authority. But to question why a certain quantum of punishment was given, this is contempt. I don't think any of us are qualified to really do that.
Supriya, what do you make of both the verdict and the sentence there? What does it say about the judiciary in India?
I don't want to comment on the judiciary in India, but I will make my opening remarks on what is perhaps the worst political vendetta of any kind. And I want to put some facts on the table. To you or my worthy colleague from the BJP, but the world needs to know what has happened. Mr. Gandhi in April 2019 makes a statement in Karnataka, which is where this judgment has been delivered, by the way. In the state of Karnataka, he makes an election speech. There is a court in Surat, Gujarat, that starts trying this case. Magistrate Dave is on this case. The complainant, Purnesh Modi, is not named by Rahul Gandhi. There are 3 individuals Mr. Gandhi names: Lalit Modi, Nirav Modi, and Narendra Modi. First, Mr. Purnesh Modi, now a minister and MLA in the BJP government of Gujarat state, does not have a locus standi to actually go to court on this matter. That's point number 1. Point number 2, any election speech is scanned and probed by the police. There has been no police investigation in this entire case. That's point number 2. This is an important thing that the people need to know. April 2019 is when Mr. Gandhi makes the speech. He appears in person before the Gujarat court. You know, the trial begins. Magistrate Dave is on record, the judge. Purnesh Modi himself goes to the Ahmedabad High Court, which is a higher court than the court in Surat, and asks for a stay on the proceedings. Now listen to me carefully. He asks for stay on the proceedings. And then on the 7th of February, Mr. Rahul Gandhi makes a scathing speech in Parliament exposing the link between India's Prime Minister and Mr. Gautam Adani, who is in the eye of a huge scandal, a huge scam, and Mr. Modi refuses to probe him. 7th of February, he makes the speech. On the 16th of February, Purnesh Modi goes back to the Ahmedabad High Court. And in the meantime, the magistrate is changed. Justice Dave is taken away. There is a new magistrate who comes in. I'm not going to delve into who he is and what comes in. On the 16th, 9 days later, Mr. Purnesh Modi goes to the Ahmedabad court, asked for his application to be withdrawn. Yeah. He no longer wants a stay. 2nd of February, proceedings begin.
All right.
23rd March, the judgment is delivered. 1 second, please.
All right.
23rd March, the judgment is delivered. And this is the maximum sentence. If it was 1 hour,
Supriya,
What a
Just say
bundle
one
of
thing. You
lies.
asked him two questions.
yeah, you've laid out the
Please,
facts. You've laid out the facts
I just
for
want to
us.
say one thing. I
Yeah.
will
No,
really
these are not
appreciate
facts.
both
Can I
of us keep
correct the
civil.
facts?
Okay.
If you're going to go stoop to this level of lying and all of that, let's not get into this. This is a civil debate. Let's do it in a civil way. I want to place one thing on record here.
Right.
And that thing is important.
Yeah.
If Mr. Gandhi was given a sentence of 1 year, 11 months, and 29 days, he would not have been disqualified.
Yeah.
But he was given maximum punishment, which is unprecedented.
Yes.
And the government did not even wait for 20
Which was the point that
hours before
which was the point that I
disqualifying him,
put to
because Mr. Modi is scared
All right,
of
Supriya.
what Mr. Rahul Gandhi is doing to
this was the point that I put to Sudhanshu. And that you made as
Can I
well,
respond?
this sentence of 2 years. There's a political vendetta, Sudhanshu, against Rahul Gandhi.
I'm so pained and I'm so amazed that you can impugn motives on a judge without even having even the preliminary evidence to say that there was a bias. You as a political commentator do not have the right to make a judgment on the judicial wisdom of a judge. In India, we have an independent judiciary and judicial decisions are reviewed. We can't claim malafide. Are you saying this malafide? I challenge Supriya. Any is malafide, and then they'll bear the consequence of the judicial process. We have an independent judiciary. You cannot denigrate judiciary by impugning motives. As far as the facts she has laid down, let me elaborate on the fact. The fact is that Purnesh Modi is entitled. This case is not to be investigated by a police officer because it's a private complaint, and under section 499 and 500 of the Indian Penal Code, this is the provision. If people are, I can't help it. If Mr. Gandhi does not understand the consequences of a defamatory statement and the punishment he's entitled, you see, they all suffer from a mindset of a feudal mindset. They are still living in
a comment now because he's absolutely degrading this debate.
I can finish. I did not.
Well, we can't shout across each other like this.
Allow me to finish.
We're going to have a civil.
The issue is simple. The issue is simple. You just had.
We can't shout across each
Just
other
1
like
minute.
this because no one will hear what we're saying.
I'm not.
Okay,
I'm
so
just making my
make a last quick point, please.
Just one last. I heard a Congress MP, one of the senior most member parliament from UP, saying there should be a separate law for the Gandhis. Can you imagine? In a constitutional democracy, which has a scheme of things in the constitution, this kind of a demand can be made by a congressman? By the party can make this demand that there should be a separate law for the Gandhis.
But hang on.
Can I please come in now? I think I have a right to retort.
Yeah, please, go on. Yeah.
Thank you very much. First of all, let's not be driven by fake news propaganda. Let's not graduate from WhatsApp and Facebook universities, Mr. Mittal here. What you were saying about a 9-time MLA and a 2-time MP is erroneous. Don't do that because you will now be liable for defamation. That's point number one. Point number two, I will personally take you to the courts if you insinuate anything wrong against me.
Please do.
I
Don't
did not
threaten
cast
me.
aspersion for the judiciary. I cast it aspersion.
On a television channel.
Mr. Mittal, this is not how I debate. Maybe this is how you do things. This is not how I debate. We are on an international platform.
This is malafide. And I
try and be civil. You can try. Give it a try. Give it a try, Mr.
Yeah,
Mittal.
please do it.
How I can do
You try.
Okay, look. I have to remind you both. We want to hear what both of you have to say. We can't shout across each other like this. Supriya,
no, but she cannot threaten me on television.
What do you make, Supriya, of the speed at which Rahul Gandhi was expelled from Parliament following the verdict?
Mr. Gandhi scares the living daylights out of the BJP and India's Prime Minister, and he's a coward.
Okay, Supriya, let me put that point to Sudhanshu. Sudhanshu, hang on, just a minute.
Let me just read out the law.
Okay, with opinion polls showing the BJP.
You're as coward as your party.
All right, listen. With opinion polls showing the BJP having an unassailable lead ahead of next year's election, and Modi himself remaining incredibly popular among voters, why would any politician from the governing party be concerned about what Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party says or does?
I can understand the frustration and the discomfort in the Congress camps because of the demoralization. But let me just read out Section 8(3) of the Representative of People's Act. It says a person convicted of an offense and sentenced to imprisonment for not less than 2 years shall be disqualified from the date of such conviction and shall continue to be disqualified for a further period of 6 years after his release. This is the law. This is not what the parliament decided. This is the law of the land. Now, if the law of the land, you see, we believe in the majesty of law. India is a country governed by law. Now, are you trying to say that the law of land should be different for the Gandhis? Now, if the law says that if you are convicted and you have a sentence of 2 years, you'll be disqualified. So you got disqualified. Where does the government come into the picture? Where does BJP come into the picture? It is their own choice. It is their own doing. He had an option of apologizing. He did not. He chose this sentence. So be it. So how do we come into the picture? This is not a prosecution by the state. It's a private complaint. So please, let's have the facts and let's argue this case on facts. Allow me to speak. This is wrong.
You're as big a coward as your
and this lady must be told
and the Prime Minister
to this level. Please allow me to
Sudhanshu, if Rahul Gandhi appeals the sentence,
my last
when
point.
he appeals, if the sentence is reduced or overturned, will he be reinstated as an MP?
No, it is the government has nothing to do with it. Nobody has anything to do with it. It's the court. If the court gives him an order,
can I please come in?
The conviction itself. Please allow me to finish. Let this lady not be so much in a haste to show how disrespectful she can be in a debate. The issue is it's for the court to decide. If the court higher adjudicating authority decides that this conviction has to be set aside, so he will get reinstated. So the issues of pure judicial process and law of land is nothing to do with any politics. Now, what is law of land is now sought to be shown as the politics of India. No, this is not the politics of India. The politics of India is that of governance.
Can I please come in? Because I'm not here to listen to a lecture ad nauseam.
Okay. Look at this. Can you?
I don't understand.
This lady.
Supriya,
I think I never interrupted.
Okay, look, Supriya.
The issue is, as you just put up a question as to since we are so popular, why should we be bothered? We are not bothered. Yeah. Who's bothered about the conviction of Rahul Gandhi? Who's bothered? We get bothered when statements like, no, there should be a separate law for the Gandhis.
Sudhanshu, you have to admit the optics are not good. Yes, Supriya, you can come in. What do you want to say?
I have a very simple thing to say. There were 10 ministers of the Modi government who were asking Rahul Gandhi to come to Parliament and speak. They were actually peddling fabricated, fictitious facts to Gandhi's visit. Rahul Gandhi had said overseas about Indian democracy being a public good. But I want to just show your viewers a picture of the Indian democracy. Members of parliament wanted to march. There were 2,000 police officers resisting them. 1 second. Rahul Gandhi asked for time twice in writing and once after meeting Speaker of the Lok Sabha, which is the legislature where he's elected to. He was not given time. On the 16th of March, he said if Indian democracy was functioning, I would have time in parliament and Indian democracy is on test. The reality is, what are you so scared of? You switch off his mic, you put Indian parliamentary proceedings on mute. Have you ever heard a democracy putting its own parliament on mute? The world could not hear Indian parliament on the 17th of March for 16 long minutes. You don't allow a member of parliament to speak. For 10 days, he kept waiting for you. He kept meeting you. He kept writing letters. You were the one who wanted him to speak. You were the one who's creating it for the first time in 75 years in Indian independence. It is not the opposition, but the treasury benches who were not allowing the House. They were rushing to the well. They were sloganeering. What are you so scared of? You are scared of this.
Okay.
You are scared of the fact that if Rahul Gandhi was given a chance to speak, he would ask you questions on Adani, and you have no goddamn answers on this. Supriya, you are scared. You are absolute cowards to disqualify him.
We can't really see the picture that the newspaper that you keep showing us to the webcam there.
See this now?
No. We can't see it in proper quality here in the studio. I'm sorry. Sudhanshu, do you want to reply? You were telling us about well, it was my question as well. Why the BJP appears to be running scared of Congress when they've got nothing to fear at the moment, electorally at least.
Let me make it very clear. There is no question of being afraid or fearful. I mean, these are all words of imagination of people who suffer from hysteria. Why? We have such a comfortable acceptance by the people of India. Why should we be bothered? Why? Yeah, we are bothered about what? When a Rahul Gandhi goes to England and says Indian democracy is endangered, so US and UK should intervene, then yes, we think this is not a statement of a patriot. This is not a statement which can ever be acceptable to anybody in the country, for the simple reason that internal affairs are to be looked after by the country itself. You cannot
How
ask
dare
a
you give him a
foreign
statement
power
of
to interfere.
patriotism? How dare you?
This is ridiculous. Please tell.
How dare you?
She's behaving like.
Okay.
This
All right.
is. I've been on debates.
Listen.
I've never seen somebody as uncouth as her.
If you're shouting,
I never interviewed.
yeah, if you're shouting at each other, that we can't hear what you're saying. The microphone cuts out because it can't cope
Absolutely.
with the sound level. So please keep your voice
it's
at a moderate level. Supriya, if Rahul Gandhi does go to jail,
No, but I haven't finished. Sorry, I have not finished.
Okay.
I'm
Quickly.
not finished. This is unfair.
Oh, quickly.
She interrupted me. I'm not finished. I made a point that here is a man who seeks the intervention of a foreign country into the affairs of India. How can that be acceptable? No, it cannot be acceptable. And this has been the hallmark or the trademark of the Congress as well as Mr. Rahul Gandhi. He seems to be always on the side of Pakistan. He seems to be on the side of China. Anybody who's inimical to the interest of India, he seems to be on their side. And that is what disturbs us. Because as people of this country, we are a very proud country.
I need to comment because I'm not prepared to listen to this.
Having somebody,
I'm not prepared to.
Look at this. Can you imagine? Is this the way? Is this?
Okay.
That is the reason why
Right.
Congress is.
Okay. Sudhanshu,
why this lady lost her deposit when she contested.
you've had your say. Let's Supriya come back. Supriya.
Okay, let's hear. Yeah.
Adrian, I have a very simple point to make here. Mr. Gandhi was a visiting fellow at the Judge Business School of the Cambridge University, which is his alma mater. He said Indian democracy is a public good. 140 crore people, which is 1.4 billion people, live in Indian democratic system. And the fate of our democracy is going to decide the state of democracies on this planet. Ask me a question. He has actually put Indian democracy at the center stage of the world. He was asked particularly, are you going to, what can Berlin, France, UK, and he said no, and I will quote him verbatim. This is our problem. This is our internal problem. This is an Indian problem. We will have to find a solution to this. The reality is that the BJP is so desperate to find some or the other issue to divert the attention away from Adani, and that is what this is all about. Mr. Gandhi has said in no uncertain terms, you disqualify me for life, you send me to jail, I give a damn. I will continue to fight for the democracy of this country. Indian democracy was put on test. What weakening of democracy? An elected member of parliament was not allowed to speak for 10 days. You wanted him to come to speak in parliament. He asked for time twice in writing and once in person from the speaker. The speaker told him, I can't give you time in writing. Come and have a cup of tea with me. That's what Indian democracy is about. You switch off mics of people. That's what. You know who are they scared of? They are scared of a 21-year-old climate activist. They arrest somebody called Disha Ravi because she was speaking about democracy. They are scared of a climate activist like Greta Thunberg. They are scared of a pop artist like Rihanna. That is the reality of the Modi government. They are so running helter and skelter because they smother democracy every single day. Press all over the country will tell you, other than the ones who have become the cheerleaders and who will actually roll on the floor if they're asked to sit by Modi, the press in India is largely censored. They will not show you our side of you. They will show stories. And that's what Narendra Modi has done to this country. You really want to go talk about democratic institutions? You are using all institutions against the opposition. Enforcement Directorate is an institution, and that's my last line. Enforcement Directorate is an institution in India which is meant to probe illicit wealth being diverted and swinged overseas. There is a four-fold increase in cases of the Enforcement Directorate since Mr. Modi has come to power. And guess what? 95% of those cases are against India's opposition. If you ask a question of this government, they are so scared of Rahul Gandhi that all they could do was disqualify him. But you know what? He becomes more dangerous for you.
Sudhanshu, do you want
to hold you to account?
Okay, all right.
To the dog
Supriya,
every single day.
You've made the point.
Keep laughing because this is a nervous laugh, and I love it.
Supriya,
go ahead, Mr. Whoever you are.
Sudhanshu, do you want to answer that?
Naturally, I would. The only time Indian democracy has been subverted was in 1975. And look who did that? The party of Supriya ji. Emergency, where all the fundamental rights of a citizen were suspended. So much for the commitment to democracy by the Congress. You heard about probity. You heard about BJP being scared. The problem is that Congress is scared because of its diminishing vote bank, by its diminishing presence in the relevance of Indian politics. It has reduced itself to a mere regional party today. You hear Mamata saying Rahul Gandhi is the best TRP for BJP. Why? Because here is a man who makes irresponsible statements, who makes buffoonery as a hallmark of political leadership. And they want us to eulogize such a person as to be taken seriously.
The reality is that the BJP and its entire machinery has put in so much money to assassinate his reputation, to character assassinate Mr. Gandhi. They realize that the world is seeing that Mr. Gandhi is an extremely sharp, earnest man, and which is why the ground is shaking beneath their feet. There is nothing else to this. They have realized that their entire machinery has failed to character assassinate Rahul Gandhi. He's asking questions of relevance. Everything that he said about the GST, about the COVID crisis, about China, about Adani, has all come true. Mr. Modi has had to eat humble pie one after the other. And I will only take 10 seconds because this is about defamation. You call the Congress chief a widow of the Congress. You call a son a hybrid calf. You call a married woman 50 crore girlfriend. You say that the former prime minister used to wear a raincoat the house. You think these are statements that you should be eluded for? Because these are statements that you should be in jail for, if you ask me. Mr. Modi should apologize to this country because he went to China and said that people curse their destiny for being born in India. We did not say that.
We are out of time. I'm sorry. That's where we must end it. Thank you both, Sudhanshu, Mittal and Supriya. Shrinate. And thank you for watching. Don't forget, you can see the programme again anytime by going to our website at aljazeera.com. For further discussion, join us on our Facebook page. You'll find that at facebook.com/AJ Inside Story. And you can join the conversation on Twitter, our handle at AJ Inside Story. From me, Adrian, Finighan, and the whole team here in Doha. Thanks for being with us. Bye for now.